You're listening to the Secure Dad Podcast. Discover ways to secure your home, protect your family, and embrace your role as a protector parent. Welcome, friend. I'm Andy Murphy, the creator of the Secure Dad. This podcast serves to help families become proactive in their safety. The information I share on this podcast is for general information purposes only. My goal is to empower you to make safer decisions for yourself and your family. Today I'm going to be talking about the emergence of AI-generated content, especially when it comes to safety information. We're going to see who's better, me or ChatGPT. All of that and more ahead on the Secure Dad Podcast. I want you to have a safer, happier year. That's why I created the 2023 Survival Guide. This is a checklist that compiles 23 different things that your family can do this year to be safer and enjoy life. This list includes going on an outdoor adventure, starting a food garden, running a home security assessment, and taking control of your personal information online. But there's a whole lot more for your family to work on. To get your free copy, tap on the link in today's show notes. Speaking of controlling your personal information, I've been a happy customer of Delete Me for years. I've even got the chance to interview Rob Chevelle, who's one of the founders of Delete Me, and he is a fierce privacy advocate. To learn how you can delete your information from data brokers, look for the link in today's show notes. The premise of this show is about AI-generated content going viral. The release of ChatGPT has caused a ripple effect through our society, especially on social media. If you're not familiar, ChatGPT is the creation of a company called OpenAI. It offers answers to many questions that are generated in seconds. You can ask it to write a 500-word essay on black holes. It's written a Christian worship song with accompanying guitar chords, and it even writes code. I've asked it a ton of stuff, including an essay question about the significance of the coin flip in Cormac McCarthy's No Country for Old Men. In about 10 seconds, it gave me a decent explanation. And it's also being used for nefarious purposes as well. It's been reported that some users are requesting malware and spyware code. So why am I talking about it on this show? First off, this might be the start of Skynet, and eventually the machines will take over the planet for themselves. I, for one, welcome our new robot overlords. The bigger issue that we need to look at is whether or not we can trust the information that's given to us by AI. AI doesn't think for itself. It's only a reflection of the information it aggregates from its algorithms, and we don't really need to overvalue its content above content created by humans. The work of ChatGPT is so good that it's been banned in New York City schools for students and teachers. The worry is that the students will use the chatbot to write papers and skip out on doing the work themselves. If left unchecked, pretty soon it's going to be banned in all schools because it's going to be hard to tell chatbot writing from student writing. Researchers do say that they have a way to determine work that's been created by ChatGPT. Well, that works for now, but I don't know how long it's going to be relevant before it changes. And as a side note, trying to access ChatGPT during school and work hours is very hard because of the demand for its services. So what does ChatGPT know about home security? I'm going to share a question that I asked it, and we're going to break down what it said. My very first question that I asked this chatbot was, write 10 ways to protect your home. And this is what I got in less than 8 seconds. Number 1, install a security system. A security system can deter burglaries and alert you to any suspicious activity. Number 2, secure your doors and windows. Make sure all doors and windows are locked and consider installing deadbolts on exterior doors. Number 3, use exterior lighting. Proper lighting can help deter burglars and make it easier to see who's at your door. Number 4, trim your shrubbery. Overgrown shrubbery can provide cover for burglars, so make sure to keep it trimmed. Number 5, keep valuables out of sight. Don't leave valuables in plain sight as it can attract burglars. So far here, through the first 5, these are all things that I've covered on the podcast, which I think is pretty funny. So let's keep going. Number 6, use timers for lights and electronics. Timers can make it appear as though someone is home even though you're not. Number 7, get to know your neighbors. Building relationships with your neighbors can help create a sense of community and make it more likely that someone will notice if something seems off. Number 8, secure your garage. Make sure your garage is locked and consider installing a security system. Number 9, use reinforced locks. Reinforced locks such as those made of brass or steel are more resistant to tampering. Number 10, keep a record of your valuables. Keep a record of your valuable items, including the make and model numbers in case they are stolen. This will make it easier to identify and recover your belongings. Not bad, right? I think I've actually talked about all 10 of those things on the podcast before. Now, on the surface, these are good answers. I don't disagree with anything that was written by the chatbot, but I think at least 2 of the answers are a little lacking. Answer number 9 was about reinforced deadbolts being made of brass or steel. Now, I was hoping that this was going to be about adding an encapsulated strike plate or a flip lock to your door, but it was more about the construction of the lock itself. And I don't think that's useful because most locks are made of steel or brass. You'd actually have to go way out of your way to find one that wasn't. And I did find when I Googled what are deadbolt locks made of, the first result talked about brass and steel deadbolts. So there you have it. Answer number 10 is good, which is to keep a record of your valuables, but nobody does that. Yes, it's helpful for the police after the fact, but it's not a proactive solution. I honestly think that if I had asked for 20 ways to protect your home, I'm not sure ChatGPT would have been able to keep up. Obviously, these are not the best ways to protect your home, and they're certainly not in-depth answers that fully explain each point so that you'll understand it. But if you worked in an online news site and needed quick content, this would absolutely pass snuff. This top 10 list would probably get 8,000 reads and a ton of traffic on Twitter and Facebook. And that's a little frustrating and a little dangerous to say the least, because there's not a lot of context here. And also, let's talk about the ethics of just copying and pasting an AI-generated article. And yes, I'm sure I could ask a more detailed question to get a better answer, but at that point, aren't I doing most of the work? I really wanted to see what this AI could do on its own with little human help. Another thing to think about is that we are at a tipping point in news content creation. Can we fully trust what AI produces? I think I've proven so far that it's lacking, but it's still decent. I think by the end of this year, we're going to see a warning label at the top of every article that declares if the article was created, at least in some part, by artificial intelligence. And I also think the flip side is true. We're going to see labels that say the content was created 100% by a human. In the same vein, social media accounts are going to have to declare their AI and human origins as well. So now I'm going to share with you another question that I asked ChatGPT. I asked it, what are the dangers of artificial intelligence influencing American media? And this is what it said. There are several potential dangers in artificial intelligence influencing American media, including number 1, loss of control. AI algorithms can be designed to produce content that is biased or misleading, and these algorithms may be difficult for humans to understand or control. This can lead to the spread of false or harmful information, which have serious consequences. Number 2, amplification of existing biases. AI algorithms are only as unbiased as the data they are trained on, so if the data used to train AI contains biases, the AI will likely amplify these biases. This can lead to the perpetuation and amplification of harmful stereotypes or misinformation. Number 3, displacement of human workers. As AI becomes more advanced, it may be used to automate certain tasks that are currently performed by human workers in the media industry. This could lead to job loss and economic disruption. Number 4, reduction of diverse voices. This got woke real fast. If AI is used to produce content without human oversight, there is a risk that it will not adequately represent diverse voices and perspectives. This could lead to the homogenization of media content and a reduction in the diversity of viewpoints and experiences represented. It is important for media companies and policymakers to be aware of these potential dangers and to make steps to mitigate them, such as ensuring that AI algorithms are transparent and accountable, and that they are used in a way that promotes rather than undermines diversity and fairness. Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot to take in. Again, I think these are great answers, but I feel like there is more to it than that. AI chatbots are going to change how we see news media, education, and social media, just for starters. Going forward, we're going to need to be aware that what we are reading and watching can be heavily influenced by AI, and AI can be influenced by the internet as a whole. So fake news articles and Twitter accounts can absolutely affect what's going into AI, which will influence the content that we read. Now, you may argue that this isn't new, that mis and disinformation have been a problem for a while, and yes, it has. The greater issue is the lack of human interaction and oversight on the part of content creators. AI can be used in a positive way, but humans are lazy, and I don't think we're going to be good stewards of this new technology. So let's answer our question. Can you bet your life on AI? At this point, I'd have to say no. We still need to be thoughtful about the information we consume. So please be aware of what you read online and follow your intuition if you think something's off. Think for yourself, and you're going to be just fine. Well, that's all that I have for the Secure Dad podcast for today. Thank you, friend, for listening. Get your copy of my free 2023 survival guide at the link in today's show notes. And take control of your online information with help from Delete Me. I've been a happy customer of theirs for years. There's a link to a review that I did in today's show notes. I'm Andy Murphy, and until next time, take care and think for yourself.